continue to listen to.
It's not anything like anything he's done before. I mean, a few of the songs are kind of like, his old stuff. But, it's different. I really like it. It's different because it has a lot of, there's like a little bit of everything, there's a little bit of rock, a little bit of hip-hop, right? And then like one song, Will You Be There, it's almost like a gospel sounding song. It's really good.
The backlot of Universal Studios in Los Angeles. Soundstage 12, where dancers, camera crews, comedian Eddie Murphy, Magic Johnson, and supermodel Iman have all gathered for the shooting of Michael Jackson's song, Remember the Time. A short film, not a video, directed by John Singleton, best known for Boys in the Hood.
Come on, let's do it once more. Once more. I don't need again, quick.
This is actually probably the biggest production I've ever worked on. I'm used to doing small films inside of houses and neighborhoods, and this is the first time I've ever worked on a soundstage. It's kind of like I got every toy at my disposal. If I want it and I feel it's gonna look right, I just go and I tell somebody I want this, and if Michael wants it too, I get it. It all happens in ancient Egypt. The storyline is this: the queen of Egypt, Nefertiti, is bored, played by Iman, the queen, and she asked the pharaoh, played by Eddie Murphy, if he can find some way to entertain her. He decides to call in a couple of entertainers, so he has some people come. He has a juggler come, and he has a fire breather come, and the queen is still not satisfied.
And I don't want y'all to think that I'm running and I'm a punk because Iman didn't move from the bird. But it's two ways to react in a situation like that. You can run or be real still. And she's just being real still. But she's as horrified as I am. And she was raised in East Africa. She knows if the eagle go crazy, it'd be real still. I'm from Brooklyn, so you run.
MTV's very own Ménage à Trois. 3 videos in a row from one artist, director, or theme. 17:45 and 23:45 Monday to Friday. That's MTV's 3 from 1 in association with C&A Young Collections. MTV to the power of 3.
No more, no less.
3, that's a magic number.
Ouch! Let's take a look at Ted's shirt. Still pristine, looking great.
These t-shirts stay T-shaped.
Congratulations. You are one of the many fortunate people who have a life. Always make sure the power switch is in the on position. Do not allow dust to settle on moving parts. Warning, not all lives are compatible. Check inputs and outputs before connecting. Your life is equipped with a memory function. This should in no way substitute for new experience. Get in gear.
Alrighty, coming right up very, very shortly is MTV Prime, the hottest hits from the American charts as well as the European ones. Hopefully, I'll see you there.
Remember the Time is like my favorite track on the album. There's a lot of good tracks, but it's like you know, I really like it because it has a dance feel, but it's also kind of like a ballad too. It has kind of multi-dimensions to it.
Micah got a funky beat. Ooh, it's nice. I'm just excited to be here and have an opportunity to be on this video, or I should say short movie. And I mean, I'm like a little kid. What can I tell you?
You're gonna be the announcer. You're gonna be the person announcing to the Pharaoh Ramses all the performers and stuff.
Okay.
One thing I really like about dancing, I'm doing some kind of like Busby Berkeley kind of things, like that stuff overhead and different angles, and I'm cutting on movement. A lot of people don't think about that. Most people, when they do videos or short films or whatever, when they shoot dance, all they do is they keep the camera going, and they don't choreograph for the camera. They don't choreograph dance for the camera. I got a friend of mine, Fatima Robinson, to choreograph it, and she's worked a lot with Guy, and she worked with Whitney Houston and some other people and stuff, and it's just like it's some real funky stuff, you know.
What we did was took some hip hop moves, but made them technical because Mike is very technical. We put some hip hop, which is the latest dance style right now.
Best.
And brought it all together. We wasn't working on this for 3 weeks. Yeah, a couple weeks rehearsal and dress rehearsal and everything like that.
And about 8-hour, 9-hour days.
Yeah, pretty hectic. We're working with 25 plus Michael. 13 girls and 12 guys plus Michael. We both decide to dance because a lot of times when choreographers don't dance, they don't get the same respect, especially from dancers, because you're not doing the same thing. You're just saying, okay, do that and do this. But when they see you, busting your butt too, they give you more respect.
And they work harder.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. And the dancing.
I need some sandbags, some apple boxes to balance this.
The 4x4 box on camera right. Bring that up. Okay.
Dancers, get ready. All right, ready here.
All right, whenever you're
All right, attitude, Mike. Roll, please. Playback. Good. Yeah. All right. That was good. That was good. Good.
As a filmmaker, it's like live, you know. I'm not limited by my imagination for once in my life, because Michael was really not limited by his imagination.
Do you know what I mean? And had a lot more kind of musical hooks and all that sort of thing. While this is the beats are still raw and kind of street based, but the songs are going in different directions.
Before this, you did I've Got You Under My Skin for the
Mhm.
Red Hot and Blue thing. What was that like singing, you know, kind of one of the classics? I mean, how did you feel about that? Would you like to do more of that, or?
Well, it was good because we actually had the freedom to do whatever we wanted to do with the songs. I mean, you know, each band that was involved in the project. And I mean, I listened to, you know, Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra is very
Frank
good.
was in the other week, actually.
And, you know, Ella Fitzgerald's version, and it's like, no way that I was going to sing it as well as they did in that kind of format. And it seemed, for it to actually make sense with what we were about, that we kind of had to turn it around and do something else with it. So we did.
Well, Frank couldn't do the stuff on
Frank.
Homebrew. Frank couldn't do the kind of stuff that you did on Homebrew. Now, Homebrew was recorded in Sweden.
Here and in Sweden.
Here and in Sweden.
We kind of evacuated in about early April Fool's Day. We were like out of here for a while,
Right.
or the end of March or something. And we just kind of spent the summer there and kind of, I think we just needed the kick of being somewhere else and the focus of being in this wonderful place out there.
So,
I vackra Sverige ute I skogen.
Right, I don't understand that, but there's thousands of people, millions of people out there that do. Now, the place that you recorded in Sweden, was that the place that you grew up in?
It's the house that I grew up in, and it's a old schoolhouse that has, you know, been in my family since I was like 6 or 7 years old. And we had the studio in one of the bigger rooms that used to be like, you know, where the torture went down. 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade or whatever, and then we did the vocals down in the elementary, the primary section.
So you just took this place apart. Did you do this recently? You know, this changing it from one thing to from.
Well,
the school
basically, we've got the school has been closed down for ages, and it's just been like, you know, a home. And basically, I mean, we've just got like kind of portable equipment. You know, I mean, we kind of use fairly basic stuff that we can just set up anywhere, more or less, and get on with recording.
Do you think that the kind of like the rawer stuff has come out of you using kind of less sophisticated stuff?
Well, it's a combination of, you know, bringing a more live feel in, and just wanting to keep things simple and hard rather than, you know, covering it up with lots of bits and pieces.
Sure.
And you know, we'd use a mix of, you know, sophistication and crust, man.
Well, I love it. What's going to be next for you?
I'm doing Word on Friday, going to Stockholm tomorrow. You know, blah 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 blah. Yeah, you know
I'll
it.
tell you what you should do while you're here. You should kind of come in and do a live performance for us.
Yeah, I think actually that we might be doing that in like a couple of weeks or something. We just weren't ready to do it today, but you know, next time.
Fab, great. Well, before that, you've got a video you wanted to see, and it's what?
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay, and it's
give it away now.
Brawn reflex control. Stops cut away.
Okay, that's enough ads. Time we got back to the MTV Brown European Top 20. Before the break, we were halfway through Yugoslavia's Top 10 when we stopped to take in the Rolling Stones. Here's the rest of that chart. So Bandido's #1 in Yugoslavia. Now, whilst that goes on over there, Phil Collins over here is at number 15. The original video for That's Just the Way It Is had to be re-edited to remove some rather disturbing war footage, presumably replaced with some undisturbing war footage. It's destined to be another monster hit for Phil, though here is the toned-down video for That's Just the Way It Is. Phil Collins at number 15. And from Phil Collins, we move up one place to the number 14 position, and another megastar who's doing his bit for social change, Elton John. Elton was recently appointed as patron of the Terence Higgins Trust, a charity concerned with AIDS, and he joins Richard Branson and the royal photographer Patrick Litchfield, who are already involved in the work of the organisation. Elton gave all profits from his last single, Sacrifice, to the AIDS charities, and he intends to do the same with his latest single, Club at the End of the Street, number 14. Elton John at number 14 with Club at the End of the Street. His last single, Sacrifice, is still making big bucks all around the continent, but it's being held off the number 1 spot in Ireland by the World Cup song. It's still there. Let's have a look at what else the Irish have been buying this week. And at number 5, it's the local heroes Hot House Flowers with their version of Johnny Nash's classic, I Can See Clearly Now. So the Irish football squad stay in the charts far longer than they actually stayed in the World Cup. Getting back to our MTV chart, we're at number 13, and it's Toto Cutugno. He's best known in Italy as a songwriter, and over the years he's collected a pretty respectable amount of gold and platinum discs for his songs. He wrote the next song, Insieme 1992, which, as well as giving him a whole lot of chart success, also made him the winning entry in the Eurovision Song Contest. Here comes Toto at number 13, Insieme 1992. Every country has its own rock and roll revivalist. Here in the UK, for instance, we've got Shakin' Stevens. And the Swedes, not to be outdone, have one of their very own. It's Jerry Williams. He's single-handedly trying to keep the Yankee flag flying over Sweden with his own brand of Scando-Billy, liberally sprinkled with a good sense of humour. Jerry's been charting in Sweden for quite a while now with this next song, Who's Gonna Follow You Home? And it's at number 14 in Sweden. It's the one and only Jerry Williams. Jerry Williams charting in his home territory there. No movement from Zoot Machine. They hang on to the number 12 position with Mel Don. But a new face is on the chart at number 11, and it's a new face that no one has had the chance to see yet. DNA are an outfit from Bristol in the west of the UK who refuse to be identified. They've been quoted as saying, we're not into being pop stars, we just want to have a bit of fun. So if you know who they are, answers on a postcard, please. You'll recognise the song though. They've taken Susan Vega's track Tom's Diner and added a drum beat to what was an a cappella number. It's at number 11 this week. DNA featuring Susan Vega,